it's Trisha, and I wanted to tell more stories about my interesting experiences that I've had in my life that are not the usual. You can call it paranormal or crazy, whatever you want to call it. But I've had them. They happened to me. Okay, I experienced them. If you have not, and you want to, you can learn to. But I just wanted to share some stuff. I've been sharing my life and my experiences that I've had. So I have a YouTube channel called Exploring the Paranormal with Trisha Brown, and I've been sharing my experiences, my stories. And on my last video, and on another one, which I'm talking about, my last video, I realized I said the date of 2008, which I meant 2018, like it just happened, like it was more recent, about my seeing the spirit bird or the shadow bird. And then in another video, I was talking about stories where I have been physically touched by spirits. And I mentioned that when I was in Gettysburg, I was tapped on the shoulder when I was in the country walking on a road. And I said that was 2007, but it was 2017. So I just want to make sure that I say that, so I'll feel better about that and all that. Okay. So today, right now, I want to talk about experiences that I've had with seeing apparitions. And so to me, what I think of an apparition is of when you see a full body human form standing there in your presence. And they're completely solid, look like a regular person standing there wearing clothes and have normal hair and nothing weird, like no half body there or translucent or anything like that. It's just literally looking like a solid form standing there. So the first time I saw that was, I'm going to say it was in 2002. I was living in the Santa Cruz Mountains in a house that was the last remaining cabin house from a resort actually it's the Los Gatos Mountains off of old Santa Cruz Highway, and it was a resort, and from the early 1900s. There was about 9 cabins. There was a hotel that was actually across the meadow from where my house was, and a pool down below, and on the land, and a building that, at the time frame of the resort, it was a restaurant, and there was other things that it was in different times also. So and a lot of the wealthy people from San Francisco area and stuff would come and stay at this place. And there's documentation. The owner has lots of pictures and journals and one of those sign-in books that you do at the hotel, like people's comments and stuff like that from the early 1900s. It's really cool. So anyway, so just out of the blue, one night, I woke up in the middle of the night to myself sitting up in bed. And it's like I open my eyes and I'm sitting up in bed. And as my eyes sort of focus, I'm like staring at the area beyond the foot of my bed, and there is a lady and a boy standing there, and they're wearing clothes from the early 1900s, really, really nice clothes. And they were just standing there. The little boy was standing slightly in front of the woman, and I'm going to guess it was his mom, but I don't know. And they were both wearing really nice clothes. And they were just sort of standing there. And it was as if I could see them, but they couldn't see me. And they were in their own world, like as if I was seeing into another time or something. I don't know. It was a trip. And I just could not believe my eyes. I just stared and stared and stared and stared like, wow, what the heck? And they were not moving. And I don't know how long I sat there and stared at. It could have just been like 30 seconds or less or more. I don't know. It just was, I was going to stare for as long as it was happening. And then after a little while, however long it was, 30 seconds or a minute or whatever, they both just sort of dissipated together and were gone. And I just, at that moment, I was just like, huh, that's interesting. And I just like laid back down and went back to sleep. And so I carried about life, and I'm sure I thought about it like here and there, like that was a trip. So I don't know if it was like a week later or 2 weeks or whatever it was, or a couple days. I totally don't remember. But I was watching TV on the couch. I fell asleep on the couch, and I was laying on my side, on my left side. And in the middle of the night, something made me, for no apparent reason, I woke up. And as I opened my eyes, they're standing in front of me, like, I don't know, like 6 feet in front of me on the other side of the coffee table. I could clearly, where my eyes were looking, it was like I could see from the waist down of the woman, and then the little boy moved. Like he did this sort of thing, like, like leaning down to check me out. And that, wow, that, like I startled, like, oh, he moved, holy shit. And I feel like I jumped like 5 feet, and then I did this sort of quick, like, I don't know why I did this, but like this sort of like pretending I didn't know thing, and I just turned over and went back to sleep. I don't know how I was able to do that, but that's what happened. And then I don't know, again, like another week or a couple days or the day, I don't remember that part, but same thing. I fell asleep on the couch, and this time I opened my eyes in the middle of the night, and this time he's like, I don't know, like maybe like this far from my face. And like he was just looking into my face, like like tripping out on me, like, and when I just, that was startling. Anyone, even if it was a live person, all of a sudden in your face, it's startling, like, whoa, and that just, so the same thing. I feel like I jumped like 3 feet in the air, and then I turned over really quick, and I just went back to sleep. And there's something in, like, this sort of, I don't know what, this sort of inner wanting to not let him know that I saw him thing. I don't know what that was about, but that's kind of like how I reacted in the moment. This was totally new to me, and obviously since then I've really studied it and like listened to other people's experiences and gathered information and thought about it a lot. And so what I've come to is, wow, what a trip that was for him. Like, what was he seeing? Was he seeing just sort of a face floating in midair, or was a body just floating in midair? Was he seeing the couch I was laying on? What was he seeing? And that's super fascinating to me. Like, wow. I mean, if I could have an experience like that now, I wonder if I would be able to ask him, like talk to him, like, hi, do you see me? Like, are you seeing me now? Like, what are you seeing? Like, like actually try to have a conversation. Like, I've never, like, that was amazing to me. Like, I've wondered about that little boy so much. His mom, or whoever that was back there, she was still in her own world. She was just sort of standing still. So it was almost like, makes me think like his awareness is a little bit higher than hers in some way or another. I don't know, but that's kind of like what I think. So that was in 2002. In 2004, and at that time, I don't know if I said this, but yeah, I did. It was in the Santa Cruz Mountains, California, or Los Gatos Mountains, which is a little bit closer to town. So in 2004, I was living in a house in San Jose. No, I think it was either San Jose or Campbell address. The towns are really close together. And in this particular room I was in was the most active, like paranormally or whatever. Lots of weird stuff going on in that room. Wow. So I woke up in the middle of the night, which is not unusual for me because I hear something, or not hear something, I feel something, like something physical